When I grow up, I will be rich. Stories and Tales with and about money for children by Christian Boloban and Eusebiu Borcaș. When I grow up, I'll be rich. Oh, the good old days. Alex was a clever child. He was probably 8 or 9 years old and already had saved money in his piggy bank for a new bicycle. How did he do it in less than a year? Everything started on his birthday when his father came home with a ball under his arm and his head bowed. "I know you were expecting a bicycle, but we can't afford one yet." He was waiting for it, dreaming about it, and craving for it more than anything else in the world. He thanked his father with a smile on his face. "It's okay, Dad. Thanks for the ball. Maybe some other time." But he was still thinking of a brand new bicycle leaning against the walnut tree in front of the house. On Christmas, he went caroling through the neighborhood. That was the tradition. The children went Christmas caroling, but they didn't get nuts and sponge cakes like our grandparents used to when they were young. Instead, they received money, as much as the host was kind enough to offer. Alex would place each coin one by one in the bag he carried over his shoulder. He went to carol for all his friends, for all the people he knew, and all their relatives, and managed to raise $30. He asked about the price of the bicycle, and it was $400. How much did he still need? Yes, he needed $370. This was a huge amount of money. But this didn't make him give up. He could already see himself riding the bicycle around the park, showing off in front of his friends. "Alex!" The voice of his mother soon woke him up. "Could you please run and grab me a sponge for the kitchen and some soap from the store at the corner of the street? Dinner is ready, and I want to have everything cleaned up before your father arrives home from work." She gave him $10. The sponge was $2 and the soap was $6. How much change would he have to bring back? Starting with $10, if we deduct 2, we have 8 left. If we deduct another 6, we have $2 remaining, said Alex in the blink of an eye. He loved mathematics and playing with numbers. He ran out to get the things that his mother needed. He would have done it faster if he had a bicycle. He would have arrived at the corner store straight away. He could even have gone to the wholesalers at the end of the neighborhood, where the prices were lower, or so he had heard. What if he tried to go there anyway? And that's exactly what he did. He started running and got there panting for breath. "Hello, could you please tell me how much a sponge and some soap would cost?" "The sponge is $1 and the detergent is $3, the lady from behind the counter replied. A fast calculation told him that from the $10 his mother had given him, he would have, yes, exactly $6 left. If he had purchased the products from the store on the corner, he would have had only $2 left. "Here's the money," he said, thrilled that he'd have $4 left. His mother confirmed that she wanted just $2 back. "You can only get them in packs of 10, the sales lady said. "This is a wholesale. We can't sell just one piece. We only sell packages of 10 pieces. Alex started to feel disappointed. For a moment, he'd almost had another $4 for his bicycle. Then he had a brilliant idea. His mother was not the only woman in the neighborhood that needed sponges and soap. He would sell the other 9 sponges and pieces of soap in the neighborhood to the other ladies. "I'm sure I'll be able to do it," said Alex, trying to cheer himself up, as he started doing the maths again. If 1 sponge and a piece of soap would have earned him $4, then 10 sponges and pieces of soap would earn him $40. "Fantastic! $40, he said, amazed by the result. He could double the money he made at Christmas. He went home to get the rest of the money needed to make his purchase. Let's see, he wondered, thinking about how much money he needed. 10 sponges at $1 each would be... Yes, $10. 10 pieces of soap at $3 each would be... exactly $30. To sum up, 10 sponges for $1 and 10 pieces of soap for $3 would cost Alex $40. He already had $10 from his mother. This means he needed another $30. He had just enough money at home. It was waiting for him in his piggy bank next to his first tooth and his collections of Rahan and Spider-Man cards. But this was all he had. He was saving to buy the bicycle he wanted for so long. What if something happened? What if the ladies didn't buy the sponges and soap from him? He'd lose everything. On the other hand, this business could get him the money he needed to buy the bike, and quickly. Otherwise, he would have to wait until next Christmas to be able to raise a little more money, and so on. The thought of earning enough made him take a decision on the spot. He ran home, sneaking in so his mother could not see him, and he returned to the wholesalers with $40. 30 were his, and the other 10 came from his mother. He bought the sponges and soap, placing the merchandise in a bag, and strolled happily back home. He took 2 steps and then got to thinking. His mother had given him $10. If he'd have taken the sponge and soap from the store on the corner, the set, a sponge and a bar of soap, would have been $8. This means that he would have to bring back to his mother a sum of $2. But Alex had nothing left. He'd used all the money his mother gave him and all his savings on sponges and bars of soap. He had nothing left. What could he do now? What could he tell his mother? He had to do something to give her the $2 back. I will visit our neighbor Gina. She lives 5 minutes away from our house, and she is a friend of my mum's. I will ask her if she needs a sponge and some soap. So he did just that. Gina was home. She opened the door, thrilled to see him. She thanked him, but she had just arrived from the store and had picked up everything she needed, including soap. "Please say hi to your mother for me." "Things haven't started well," said Alex. He knocked on Gina's next-door neighbor's house. There was nobody home. He went to the next floor and tried the next apartment. Mr. Pandele, the father of Romika from the first grade, opened the door. Romika must have brought home a bad grade, as Mr. Pandele was very upset. "Mind your own business, boy, we don't need sponges," he said, and slammed the door into his face. Alex was now wondering if he should just give up and forget about the whole thing. He would have 9 sponges and 9 bars of soap left, and he could give them to his mother. At least she wouldn't have to worry about getting sponges for the next year and a half. But in this case, he would have to forget about his bicycle. It was impossible. He had to succeed. In the next apartment lived Mrs. Aglaya on the 2nd floor. She was the woman that always criticized people. Alex couldn't escape from her comments either. Every time he met her, she told him something like, "Boy, why don't you stand up? Why are you all hunched over?" Or, "Are you chewing gum when you speak to me?" Or, "Didn't your parents teach you to look someone in the eyes when you speak to them?" He quickly thought of what he'd say to her. He gathered up his courage, straightened his back, threw his chewing gum away, and knocked on the door, ready to look Mrs. Aglaya in the eyes. Nobody answered. After a long time waiting, he heard some steps getting closer and closer to the door. He felt a gaze through the peephole, and then the door opened. "Why are you staring at me like that, boy? Aren't you ashamed of yourself?" The truth was that Mrs. Aglaya's hair, wrapped in curlers, made her head look very strange, and Alex just wasn't used to such a sight. "I came here to offer you a sponge and a bar of soap," said Alex, quietly, rather lacking in sales skills. "Do you have something in your mouth, or didn't you eat anything this morning? I can't understand anything because you are mumbling," said Aglaya to Alex. "Speak up, loud and clear. It wouldn't hurt for you to smile, boy. You have your whole life ahead of you," she told him. The boy was not feeling like smiling because of the tone the woman used, but he tried to fake one. "I came to offer some soap for your kitchen," he almost shouted at her, showing his full set of teeth. "At what price?" asked Aglaya. He now felt encouraged, because at least the lady had asked about the price. So he answered automatically, $6. "Well, this is the same price they have at the store on the corner of the street," said Aglaya. "Why should I buy it from you?" "Well, you see," Alex tried to find a good answer. "If you buy a bar of soap from me for $6, I will give you a free sponge." He said it quickly, without thinking, just to get out of the apartment as soon as possible before she could tell him anything else. "Oh, if you put it like this, it sounds interesting. Let's see, what do you have there, boy?" "Wow, you have plenty of goods. Please give me 3 bars of soap. You're just in time. The bar of soap I have is almost finished. I'll take a second one, just in case, because it's a good offer. And I'll buy a third for my sister, because she is always complaining about how she works too much and hasn't the time to shop around for discounts." Alex was so happy now. But hadn't he lost anything by giving a discount? He did the maths again. He bought the sponge for $1 and the soap for $3. This means that for the whole set he had spent exactly $4. He got $6 for a bar of soap from Mrs. Aglaya, and the sponge was given for free. This means that the difference between $6, the money he got for the soap and the sponge, and $4, the money he used to buy them with, would be exactly $2. Well done! This means that for the 3 sets he gave to Aglaya, he would get $2 multiplied by 3, which is $6. From Mrs. Aglaya, he got $6. The cost of 1 bar of soap multiplied by 3 is $18. He gave her the 3 free sponges as he had promised, thanked her, and went home happy. Alex had learned another important lesson. To be able to sell, you must be different. You must have a special offer, and you must put a smile on your face. When he knocked on the next doors, he'd stopped worrying. Some of the doors didn't even open. Some opened but nobody would buy, and other people opened their doors and thought it was a very good offer. He started to realize that by knocking on more and more doors, he could sell the soap faster and get his money back. He smiled at everybody. This was the lesson learned from Aglaya, and the people would also reply with a smile. It was late already. He realized that his mother was waiting for him to come back with the soap. As soon as he entered the house, his mother rushed to the door. "Where have you been all day? I almost thought you were missing." "Look, Mum, I found a discount. For 1 bar of soap, you get a free sponge. This was $6, and here is your change, $4, said Alex and smiled. His mother couldn't reply. She just smiled back. She was happy to see him and was also impressed with the discount. "I was so worried I didn't know what happened to you. Next time, please let me know if you decide to be late or if you go somewhere." "Okay, Mum, I promise I will not be late again," said Alex. He was happy this episode was over, and he sneaked back into his room to do the maths again. Now he knew that for every soap sold for $6 and bought for $3, he earned $3. However, he also had to deduct the cost of the sponge, $1. This means that he had $2 left, and that for every 10 sets, he earned $20. He had invested $30, and now, by the end of the day, he had $50 in his piggy bank. His eyes sparkled. Today's sale made him believe he could get the bike he wanted faster than he would have dreamed of. He would go out every day and offer a free sponge with a bar of soap to all the ladies in the neighborhood. In less than 1 month, he had enough money to get a brand new bike. He was the only boy with a new bicycle. He started to ride it around the neighborhood, and he was thrilled. Every time he passed by a friend, they would look at him with respect. His friends and all the boys on the street gathered around Alex. He owned the only new bike in the neighborhood. Everybody wanted to see it, touch it, feel it, and ride it. He didn't mind this, and he even let people ride his new bike for just $5. People began to queue up. Before sunset, all the boys in the neighborhood were smiling. They rode the bike at least 1 time. Some of them even rode it 2 or 3 times because they could afford it. At the end of the day, Alex was collecting the money. When he got home, his pockets were full and he was feeling very satisfied. Suddenly, the voice of his mother woke him up. "Where have you been? You should have been home 3 hours ago. And what is it with all this money in your pockets? Where did you get it from?" "I got it from the kids in the neighborhood that paid $5 to ride my new bike once." "Oh dear," said his mother. "Now everyone will think we're trying to get rich by taking money from their children. You will come with me and we will return the money to each and every single one of them." So Alex went to visit every friend with his mother. He gave back the money because his mother insisted, and even apologized to the children who had rode his bike earlier. He was disappointed. On the other hand, all his friends looked at him with respect. He had a bike like no other, he had managed to raise money at Christmas, he made all the ladies happy with the free sponge offer, and he made all his friends happy by offering free rides with his new bike. This 9-year-old boy had only one thing on his mind that night. He knew that every time that life might knock him down, he'd have the power to get back on his feet. With a smile on his face, he said, "When I grow up, I will be rich."